Hello everyone, it's Nytbelle. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be playing Roman's Christmas. Last time we had to collect some clues, do some sniffing around, and today I think we're going to be putting things together and figuring out who done it. Let's hop right in. After thorough search, I asked everyone to come to the hall for a trial. I've gathered everyone here. Is it time for the infamous parlor scene? Says Zenzox. I can only hope the murder is so easy to point out. Problem is, I only have the clues available, so I need your help solving this case. But the criminal is one of us. Surely they'll try to distract or mislead you. That's exactly what I want. The more murderer tries to whitewash the events, the simpler my job becomes. Let's start with the simplest problem first. Is this case a suicide or a homicide? First mystery is the dagger in Kane's chest. Yanis, is this Kane's dagger? I've never seen him with a dagger like that. He usually borrows my knife to cut carrots. If this knife doesn't belong to Kane, I have to ask a question which no one's going to answer. Whose dagger is this? Or, the better question being, who just happened to lose a fancy dagger recently? I just turned into Trunchbull from Matilda. Nobody answered, of course. I looked around. Everyone was avoiding my eyes, trying not to look directly at me. The only advantage of being a detective is everyone will think you have the ability to spot lies at a glance. If they don't talk, you can't just make them speak. Well, at least we can be sure this dagger isn't Kane's. Next, our second mystery, the lock. I pushed the handle forcefully at that time and it didn't move. The door couldn't be opened. Could the lock be jammed? Sergeant says, why wouldn't it? I check whether the handle and the locks work when I do my daily inspection. So the door was really locked when the incident happened. Right, until Sean crashed the door. Fortunately, the lock's still in good condition. I'll fix everything after all this is over. If Kane really locked the door and commit suicide, I can't believe it, says Yanis. But the dagger is hard to explain. Maybe he kept the dagger hidden? Didn't let anybody know he had it? That's not true. There's another problem with the lock. Ooh, from which side is the door locked, or is the doorknob working? From which side is the door locked? Right. Sergeant, I'd like to confirm one thing. Spit it up. The door couldn't be locked from both sides, correct? Sure. Naturally, would assume the most obvious possibility, but Kane's door was not locked from the inside. It was locked from the outside. Hansox, wait a moment. There's something strange. Hold it. What? After opening the door, Sean and I were standing by the door. Sean suggested we should have a look at the scene so as to better give testimonies. So we checked the lock one by one, and the key was in the lock inside the room. That's right, I saw that too. But it's been a while since the door opened. During the chaos, anything could happen, such as a murderer moving the key from outside to inside. But I was beside the bed the moment it opened. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I thought you already knew that. Ask me next time. Fine. Seems the door is locked from the inside, but something smells fishy. What's so strange about a lock? Kane's key was inside his room. Kane's door was shut. The keyhole was sticky. So weird. Why there's something like glue in the lock? So what's weird was, why would there be something like glue in the lock? And socks. Maybe it's due from lunch. Who would be pouring storing? Elegant. Clearly it was sabotaged somehow. Though we didn't know the method. We can assume the door was locked from the inside for now. But we can't exclude the idea that the culprit locked the door from the inside and escaped the room by some method. Yanis. Besides, Kane didn't have any reason to kill himself. He told me he'd found a new job this afternoon. He even said to me that he'll be managing his own restaurant after he's saved up enough money. So he didn't have the state of mind to consider suicide. Anzox, and you don't just commit suicide on Christmas. That's maybe a stretch. Actually, yeah, don't ask me how I know. But a lot of mental health issues tend to peak or occur or relapse around the holidays. And that's actually when you get the most suicides. Thusly, the possibility of a suicide is infinitesimal. We cannot deny the possibility of homicide now. So I guess in this world that's not an issue. Hands-off. Isn't it better to say that it's actually homicide? Elliot. Now we begin to narrow the circle of suspects. At first we can exclude all the people downstairs. So, who was in the hall at that time? I said to find who it was talking. There we go. 3V. People downstairs were Sarzen, Heron, Anzox, Yanis, 3V, Peter, and Vincel. If I remember, they were Sarzen, Heron, Anzox, Yanis, 3V, Peter, and Vincel. Yes. Elegant. And Sean, Marquis Lunic, Marquise Solar, Roman, and myself were upstairs. Pardon-moi, but Solar, Sean, and I were in my room. Shouldn't we be excluded? Problem is that Elegant and I were in her room face to face. According to you, nobody's suspicious at all. Sorry for my impropriety, Marquis Harlock looks a little angry. C'est bon, I can feel your enthusiasm for the investigation. For the time being, we'll just regard everyone upstairs as suspects. These are Elegant, the Marquis couple, Sean and me. I would like each of you to go over what you were doing when the incident happened in as much detail as you can. I want to hear Sean's testimony first. Where should I begin? When you first went upstairs. Testimony. But because the Marquis called for me, I went upstairs. Generally speaking, it was about time for the Marquis's medicine to help him sleep. I heard loud noises as I was passing through, so after I prepared the medicine, I went out to see what was going on. This is new information. And then I found you all crowding around the locked door, so knocked it open. Something smells fishy. I'll press harder for further information. Ask what? These sleeping aids. What kind of medicine? One drop of lavender and citrus oil added to water or wine. It was prescribed by the Marquis's personal physician. He a quack. Sounds like a pretty mild medicine. Because it's just slight nervous tension. It's not supposed to be potent. Ask what? How did you know the door was locked? And also how you listen. How did you know the door was locked? But because you were dragging and pulling the handle, I assumed it must be locked. Okay. And how do you get summoned? How do they specifically call you up? I went upstairs when I heard the bell ring. That is how they always summon me. And the voice outside. What noise? Just like the sound of heavy objects crashing to the ground. Please add things you've mentioned to your testimony. Okay. Please testify again. I heard the sound of the Marquis ringing the bell, then went upstairs. Generally speaking, I prepare the Marquis's sleeping medicine. It's a mix of lavender and citrus oils and wine or water. The Marquis's doctor told me to add 2 drops of oils into water or wine and give the Marquis to drink. I heard something like heavy objects crashing into the ground, so I went out and had a look. And then I found you all crowding around the locked door, so I crashed it. Wait, I think there's something strange in your testimony. Let's see here. Kane was found down his room. It was half full of pale cider, not water or wine. The cup by Lunac's bedside. That's suspicious. Where? Says Elegant. On Lunac's bedside. Why does it look suspicious? The wine? It hadn't been fully consumed. But you said cider. Cider is not wine, suggesting that something interrupted the Marquis drinking his sleep-enhancing potion. If I was right in my conjecture, that something was Kane's death. Oh, I guess I was wrong there. That's stupid. Is it trying to make me talk about the door lock? Like what? I can't explain clearly for now. No, it's clearly because you used... It's because you must have used, like, thread, like in the previous thing, to, like, lock the key from the inside, you know, and stick glue in it to keep it... Well, from the outside to make it look like it's from the inside. This is silly. The lock on the dagger smell the same, but the key smells different from the lock. It's contradictory. Why? Perhaps you should find a more suitable job. Okay, this is silly. No, all of these things... I don't even remember what he said now. So he heard the Marquis ringing the bell, went upstairs, prepares the sleeping medicine, heard something heavy crashing, went to have a look, and found everyone. So is it about the bell then? What's wrong with the stuff that I've been saying? It's too fishy. Farley's fishier than you, why am I fishy? Which evidence is contradictory. That's silly. Is it the dagger then? Must have something to do with the case, like what? Okay, should I just go through everything? Like, what is wrong here? Linux nightstand. Elegant disagrees. She's always against me. Such a rank nitpicker, as you should always be a critic. What? At this part where neither the players nor Heron had gone upstairs before the incident, Peter heard several small noises, loudness and bellowing. He said he went upstairs before hearing the ring, then heard the loud noise. Yes, is there any problem? Please recall Peter's testimony. Peter mentioned he had heard several small noises, a loud noise, then the ring. Whose memory is wrong, yours or Peter's? One of you is lying. In fact, I didn't hear the ring. Around this time, I usually start making the medicine. Really? It's just mixing 2 drops of stuff together. Anyway, Sorry. Anyway, I went upstairs before hearing the bell. I was fixing the medicine in my room. After hearing the loud noise, I went out and heard the bell ring. So I went to the Marquis's room to put down the medicine and went out again. That actually makes sense. When was the prescription given? About 2 years ago. My master takes it all the time. Thanks for your help. May I ask what you were doing when the incident happened, Marquis? Oui, it is my duty to cooperate with the investigation after such a terrible incident. Testimony. We were in our room the entire time, pajamas on, sitting in bed. We were preparing to retire for the evening, so I rang the bell to call Sean. I heard something strange, but I couldn't identify it through the door. When Sean ran out hurriedly, after he put the medicine down, I realized something had happened. Usually he waits silently until I finish the medicine, then leaves after cleaning the mug and blowing the candle out. Something smells fishy. I'll press harder for further information. That's what. Number 1, you weren't in your night dresses. Changing pajamas don't mean defend, but changing clothes is really suspicious behavior. We were preparing for bed. We also changed back to our earlier clothing. And as you can see, we are quite immaculate. Sorry, I may have overthought. Ask what? Why did Sean come inside? I don't distrust you, I just want to cover all the bases. How long did it take for Sean to arrive after ringing the bell? After I rang the bell, within 30 seconds, it's like mon petit royaume désolé. Oh, that's cute. A petite little ray of sunshine. Yes, prompt and reliable, as usual. Ask what? Noise. Could you please tell me about what you heard in detail? I'm not sure, it sounded much too muffled. Why did everyone else hear it but you guys? The order of noise. Can you remember the sounds that occurred before or after you rang the bell? I cannot remember clearly. What about you, mon chéri? Seems like... forgive me, stress plays much havoc with my memory. I don't recall. Ask what? Something variation. Please add what you mentioned in testimony. As you wish, monsieur detective. Please testify again. Testimony. We were in our room the entire time, having changed the pajamas and preparing to throw bed. Our dress is clean without any blood. When it was the time I needed to sleep, I rang the bell to call Sean. He came within 30 seconds. I heard a muffled sound, but I cannot remember if it was before I rang the bell or after. When Sean ran out hurriedly after he put the medicine down, I realized something had happened. Usually he waits silently until I drink, and then leaves after cleaning the cup and blowing the candles out. Let me think, something isn't right. Which evidence is contradictory with the testimony? Read this again. Somewhere here. There were several small noises, a loud noise, and then a bell ring, according to Peter. The ringing was after the sound. C'est possible? I cannot remember actually which evidence is contradictory. Guess that wasn't it. Could it be the handbell or the luggage? Doesn't make much sense. Well, none of these make sense. Maybe it was that he had only finished it? It's contradictory. Why? I don't think it's a contradiction. Then perhaps you must find a more suitable job. Guess not. The dagger was valuable. Would it be theirs? I guess it's doubtful, so who are we asking next? Next one is elegant. Am I not doing well? I think I'm not doing well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna save this here and redo this. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Well, I guess we're not doing that. We're just gonna go through with my struggles. Fine. So, what are you doing at that time? Me, I was standing in front of you. You came in, I shut the door, I inquired if you were wearing a bell. That should be the Marquis's bell ring, I think. And then there was a crashing sound and a loud noise, after which you opened the door and forcibly ran out. I followed you and saw you trying to open the door to King's room. Something smells fishy. Maybe I'll press further. What's what? Before I went upstairs, you have no proof you're on your own the entire time I was downstairs. Correct. Well, that was direct. You're welcome to doubt my testimony if you wish, as I cannot actually prove that. What's that handbell sound? Are you sure you heard the bell ringing? I don't remember hearing it myself. Maybe you were distracted by the sound of the door closing, but my hearing is also much better than you. Ah, rude. The order of the noises, the sequence of sounds. Can you go over them? As you wish. The first was the ringing bell, then our conversation, the sounds of crashing, followed by the loud sounds. This is getting weird, because that's the opposite. So what was that? Notebook with the names. Vicious as this will make me sound, I cannot disclose its purpose at this time. To add what you mentioned as testimony, as you wish, please testify again. I cannot prove my behavior before you went upstairs, but I was standing in front of you at that time. The ringing should have occurred when I shut the door, so you missed it. Then, in sequence, there was the ringing, the smashing sound, after which you opened the door and forcibly ran out. I followed you and saw you trying to open the door to Kane's room. I know the book of names make me suspicious, but I cannot tell you its purpose now. Well, what's contradictory is the order of sounds, as said by Peter. This small noises, loud noise, and then a bell. Hold it. Same question. Peter and Sean, you all heard the ring and small noises, but everyone's testimony about the order of sounds is different. Peter heard the small noises first, then the bump, and then the ring. You heard the ring first, then the small noises, and then the loud noise. And Sean only heard the loud noise and a ring. Who's lying? What's between these two? Possibly Peter. Because Elegant was trying to tell me earlier that she heard the bell ringing, and then I heard the loud noise, and that's what brought me over. But Peter... I wouldn't lie in this position. I'm not a criminal. Sounds like he's telling the truth. Who's lying? Sean? No, that would... Nobody lied. That doesn't make sense. Show me the clues. Peter heard small, loud bell. And... Sean lied because he told us he actually didn't hear the bell. Marquis luck can prove my innocence. Who's lying? Well, it can't be Elegant, though. Explain. Because you have something to conceal. I'm concealing nothing save for the purpose of my book. Who's lying? Well, it's literally no one then. I see. Nobody lied. Then, it's a suicide, isn't it? Nobody lied, but nobody could describe the whole thing. Well, what if there was more than one ringing? Though I didn't hear anything, stupid ears. For example, first there's a ringing, then crashing, followed by a loud sound, and then the ringing again, This way, the sequence all three people heard should be correct. Yeah, she was asking if I had heard. Number bell rings is the key to solving the case. Yes. But why would Marquise need to ring the bell again, unless his faithful servant didn't answer when the first bell ring came out? Well, I didn't mean to say that, because it would make the Marquis suspicious. But you have not the stage I have to explain. In fact, I heard two rings. The first time I entered to prepare the medicine. No, you lied. The second time I didn't understand, but still came in. Before I had the chance to ask the reason, I heard the loud sound from outside. But by the way, when I first answered the bell, I only saw the Marquis sitting on the bed without Marquis Arlock's presence. That the handbell. So you heard two ringings, and came in the room twice, even though you already said you hadn't heard any ringing before. Could you please tell me the exact situation when you entered the second time? I opened the door and saw Master Lunac and Mistress Solar seated together. He was breathing heavily, sweating a great deal. Okay. But you didn't see him the first time? No, only the woman. Are you sure he wasn't just hiding in the corner someplace you didn't notice? I'm sure. Yeah. Testify again. In fact, I heard two ringings and answered twice. I had prepared the medicine the first time, but Marquis wasn't in the room. The second time, I found Marquis in the room, breathing heavily and sweating profusely. Before I had the chance to ask the reason, I heard a loud sound from outside. Hold on. Sean! Please calm down. Don't hurt the witness. As I stepped between Sean and Lunac, Sean seized the opportunity to retreat. Monsieur Detective, I order you to step aside. This is a personal matter. But which book should you quote to stop Lunac? The Helios Code? Helios Code stipulates servants may not profess opinions that slander or demean their master's position. Then you understand my anger. Except when providing testimony to a felony crime such as murder. I'm not gonna say what he said. After he is finished, tell him that he is fired immediately and that I will see that he never works for another Nobel again. If you're the murderer, you should probably consider firing all your servants. You're gonna need the money sooner than you think. If you think he's lying, you can choose to tell the truth. Very well, I shall do as you ask. I'm listening. Indeed, I rang the bell twice. I did not say so earlier because I did not want my servant to become a suspect. I consider it a recompense for 10 years of loyal service. But now that he has betrayed me, I shall expose his lies sans pity. He didn't come at all when I rang the bell the first time. He came in after I rang the bell a second time after some time. This was fishy. I'll press harder. You said you didn't want him to get suspected? Why would you lie the first time? As I said, I did not wish my servant to become a suspect. This is English. If he is arrested, he will serve me. But legally, I know it's wrong. Please continue asking. Disloyalty. Why do you think he betrayed you? His testimony doesn't have any truth and slanders my good name. Do you have any method to expose his lies? My words not enough. As if I accept that. So he didn't show up the first time? When you first rang? Ahoy! Why else would I need to ring again if he came? Maybe you're influenced by my speculation? I don't know. And he was late the second time? Is your latest testimony true? Absolutely true. Without any exaggeration because of personal emotion. I swear upon my title. Please add what you've mentioned to the testimony. As you wish, Monsieur Detective. Please testify again. Indeed, I rang the bell twice. I did not say so because I did not want my servant to become a suspect. Now I know I was wrong, but I didn't think too much about that at that time. I consider recompense for 10 years of loyal service. His testimony is absolutely why I swear upon my title. When I first rang the bell, he didn't come, so I rang again. He came in after ringing the bell a second time, after a while. I have no idea. Both their testimonies are pretty weak. You would have asked Solar to testify as Lunac's wife. Your testimony would be suspect at best. If the testimony is all we can rely on, then we will never find a solution. Perhaps we'll just see if there's anything at the scene that can contradict them. Well, we haven't discussed the problem with Locke yet either. Now that the suspects have narrowed down again, I think I found a common point. Remember the moment the Marquise first arrived at the tavern? I nearly forgot. The melted snow had damaged the heel of my shoe. I guess we thought of something. What do you think? Which evidence is related to the memory? The sticky lock, where'd it go? Keyhole feels sticky. The lock. Indeed, I thought of something. Which part of the lock? Which part of the lock is suspicious? Kane's key was inside his room. Kane's door was shut. The keyhole was sticky. Stickiness of the lock. Why? If my memory is right, the Marquise had ordered Sean to reglue the heels of his shoes. The capital's high-end shoemakers usually make shoes with a specific type of glue. Although the glue is easy to dissolve in cold water, the shoemakers still use it over anything else. Particularly because no noble lady would be walking in water, but mostly because the glue has no odor to it. I'd wager Sean carries a jar of the stuff in case of an emergency. Actually, he does. The glue would explain why the door was stuck for no reason. Only a detective of your level of talent would find the connection between such things. Now she feels like snarky because of the struggles that I had with the first part. Because everything was wrong. That does include your nose, by the way. Which evidence can connect the glue, lock, and key? The sniffing result. Well, thanks for the help. Now I need the help. The lock and the dagger smell alike as the cup and the candlestick, but the key smells different from the lock. Well, the smell alone can't be used as evidence, but it does give me an idea. The smell of the door lock and the key at the scene weren't the same. Now that I think about it, that means the key was plugged in after that. The key was inserted later. Pourquoi? The Bard and Sean have seen the key was stuck in the lock when we came in, but not the same one. Impossible, says Sargent. Hold it. What went wrong? Have you forgotten the key cannot plug into other rooms' locks? Every key is handmade by a good blacksmith. They look similar, but cannot be inserted into wrong locks. I know that, but you don't have to insert it. The only thing that matters is if it looks like it's inserted. Looks like. I did see the key stuck in the lock, says Ansox. If you break the key in half and stick the shaft in the lock with glue, then it wouldn't matter if it fit or not. Wild guess. The glue could be torn off. Ma chérie, says Luna. Yes, but it would still be quite difficult. If that's so, then I can tell who the murderer is with ease. Just one thing, you can prove yourself innocent. Show me the key. Simple, take out your room keys and open the door. Let's begin with our most suspicious here. I believe you're all anxious to prove your innocence. It is my pleasure. We should have done this much sooner. Indeed. Well, take your keys and open the door one by one. Ladies first, mademoiselle. My pleasure, Marquis Harlock. Elegant took out her keys, approached her door without hesitation. Key slid into the lock, turned, and the door opened. She's always so calm and certain. I dare say if she was a murderer, she'd be a terrifying culprit to face. Next, Marquis Harlock. If can prove my innocence. Lunac took out his key, approached his door, and though his hands trembled slightly, the key missed the hole once or twice, and I could see the sweat beginning to form in his fur. After several unsuccessful attempts, his wife stepped over to him, whispered something to him, and guided his hands. This time the key slipped, gulping sounds, slipped easily into the keyhole, and turned with a click, and the Lunac's shoulders slumped with relief. Now the result is clear. Sean, it's your... We've all opened our doors. There's only Sean left. It must be him. If all three keys work in their respective doors, it shows that this is elegant. If all three keys work in their respective doors, it shows that Roman's hypothesis can't stand. That was the wrong voice again. In other words, we should have to start over from the beginning. Is it not foolish to jump so quickly to a conclusion? As you say. Sean, let's begin. Sean reached into his bag and froze. What? My key is missing. Maybe you should empty it to make sure. I don't think that will... Empty the bag. No. Lunik snatched the bag from Sean and dumped the contents on the ground. A dozen copper coins, a silver coin, half a key covered with glue, and a piece of blue crystal fell on the carpet. Sean staggered back against the wall, clutching his vest tightly with both hands, and looked around with wide eyes. I've already guessed earlier. But what about the loud noises those had to be Kane's fallen body? If I were the murderer, I wouldn't have had the time to kill him and prepare the medicines. 2 drops, breath. The bell rang just after the noise of his collapse. I couldn't have had time to... No. This is all wrong. Lunik just testified that you didn't come in on time when he rang the bell. It was just a few seconds late. A few seconds couldn't buy me enough time to complete the tricks you made up, right? Tricks? Indeed, you were clever. What? For example, the loud noise. That was not the sound of Kane falling. Body. What else could it be? Such loud noise must be the noise of a body falling down. I have 2 pieces of evidence to prove that the voice was not caused by Kane's fall. Firstly, which evidence could prove the loud sound wasn't caused by Kane's body? Kane's corpse in his room, corpse was on the chair, his hand was grabbed by the dagger, fatal injury to the chest, his pendant wasn't lost. Well, his corpse was in the chair. He fell into the chair. Even if he collapsed back with no support at all, most of the impact would be cushioned by the chair. If he fell back like that, there wouldn't have been nearly enough noise. So the sound of the heavy objects falling to the ground was caused by something else. The second piece of evidence I want to present is what caused the loud sound. The luggage. That chest had a bump and a sunken bit. Suitcases in Sean's room. The luggage was heavy enough that it would weigh as much as... they're both both extremely heavy. Throwing them around would be more than loud enough. So you killed Kane, went back to your own room, threw the suitcase, and rushed to the Marquis' room. If you made enough noise in your room, you could easily match the Marquis in time without arousing suspicion. Don't be ridiculous. Well, why would I kill someone I don't even know? You do know. Quick Q&A. Know his weapon now? Lethal weapon is the dagger. Of course, murder didn't cover this up. The method was the stabby stab. Here's how things played out. Deductive reasoning arranged them chronologically from top to bottom by dragon chips. Okay, so the suspect burst Kane's door open. No, hang on. What? Okay, so the suspect glued half the key to the door, and then stole Sarzen's key to... Oh, you can't steal Sarzen's key. That's not possible because it's on him. Stole... So he opened... Here's what I did. He opened... Where is it now? Doesn't say here. He burst open the door. Suspect burst the door open. This must be before that. So he burst the door open. And then replaced it. with Kane's. So first glue half the key to the door, lock the door from outside, make a loud noise in his room, and then replace the key with Kane's after bursting the door open. This is a sequence of events. What? The suspect. I think it's obvious the murderer is... Who's the murderer? Sean. He had both the time and the motive. Nonsense! Be patient, I'll explain the motive. Hello? There we go. Though Sean denied that he had met Kane before, one thing caught my attention. The blue crystal in Sean's bag. It looked just like Kane's pendant. Kane had worn the pendant for as long as I've known him. Maybe you two are old friends. No need to answer that. I think I know why you killed him. Why would you say that? Two old friends, united after many years of separation, but instead of a happy reunion, all you got was rage. Let me guess, it was all about betrayal? But what are you talking about? For example, you promised that you would recommend Kane to the Marquis when you got the chance. Then he thought he would finally achieve his dream of becoming a cook for the nobility. But it seems you did not keep your promise, because you didn't think you'd ever see him again. Actually, if it weren't for the snowstorm, you two probably would have never crossed paths. You committed the crime when Kane lost his temper. Done. Let's begin. Case playback. Kane went upstairs after dinner, and you followed him soon after. You watched him. One of Kane's actions confused me at the time. He spun the necklace. He had pulled off his pendant and was letting it hang from his hand. My guess is, I think Kane is sending a signal to someone. I recognize you. You noticed Kane's signal and followed him upstairs. You were talking in his room, and the ring from the bell from Lunac's room happened. That was the first bell ring. Kane mentioned your betrayal and knocked over a mug and the candlesticks. That's the crashing sound we heard. You felt endangered when Kane faced you, so you decided to strike first with your dagger. He collapsed into the chair without any noise. You took Kane's key, then broke your own key and stuck it in the lock with some glue you used to fix Solar's shoes. You didn't pull out the dagger because you feared the blood would get on your clothes. After all, you only needed to deny that the dagger was yours.